Welcome to BlueLineBanter. Nikko and Ben. Let's get it.
Let's get into it, y'all.
Actually,
Nico.
question for you, Ben. Like, genuine
What up?
question.
What up?
Do you post this on YouTube at all?
Yeah, I
Like,
post it on YouTube. I don't
like with
post
our
it with the
faces?
face cams.
Okay,
No,
thank God. All right, so I could
no.
sit here naked.
I mean, I guess, but I guess there's also a way of everyone not knowing if you're naked or not while we're recording. I
I
guess they'll
figured
just
it
have
was
to
just in
judge
their
off of my.
imagination.
I mean, I don't know if they really want to imagine that. If we're just going to be completely honest.
My friend Boner does.
Mentioned him in the last one. If you guys missed the last podcast, speaking of which, we're gonna try our very hardest getting this out weekly, Friday afternoons ish. We record this on Monday, which also again, uh, tomorrow being Veterans Day, for those who are listening that are veterans, thank you for your service, much appreciated. Um,
Yeah,
so
vets.
yeah, but yeah, let's just jump into this, Nico. Thoughts on the Saturday game against the Seattle Kraken?
Mm, Saturday was a bit busy for me, but I did get the opportunity to watch a little bit. Um, I remember, see, because I only watched the first period. I remember that being actually gas. Like I was like, okay, these guys are coming at it. And then I get home for a second, and I have it on the TV because I'm getting ready to go to my buddy's house, and it's not looking great. And I'm like, ooh. And then I think they're still up like 3-1 or 2-0 at that point. And then by the time I get to my buddy's house, I had it on my phone. It was like a 3-1 game, maybe at the time. The Blues had a lead that I felt like was good. 2-1.
I
Ben
think it was
two
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 nothing.
one
2-1.
2-0. I think
Ben's
it
going
was.
crazy. I could see his face. I'm actually gonna look it up right here. But I remember checking. It was like time 0 seconds left, and I saw it was 3-2 Blues. And I'm like, okay, they won. And then about 20 minutes later, I check again, and it's 4-3 loss in overtime. And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, 2-0, 2-1. Oh, it got tied 2-2. It was a 3-2. I remember because Jordan Kyra, it was a scrum in front. Yeah. I saw that one. And then when I checked, it was still 3-2, and it said there was no time left. I'm like seriously, it says 0-0-0-0. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
cool, they got to
yeah,
win. And then later I check and they lost in overtime, and that's where you text me, Ben, and you were like, dude, go watch Joel Hofer's game tying goal against. Also cool that he went for a goalie goal. That's sick as hell. That's so cool.
you know, I am in just complete shock. And I made a post about this too on the Blue Lou blog Instagram. Um, the caption of our post game for that game. Uh, I can't exactly remember the words that I said, but long story short, I am just in complete shock of what we call an NHL review system. I don't know what it takes for Toronto to call it goaltender interference.
Here we go.
I truly don't understand. And, I have friends that have played goalie, um, that have played at a higher level. Uh, and I am just in complete shock. They have told me, even if you listen to the broadcast 10, 15 minutes afterwards, Bernie Federico, even Joey Vitale, which shout out Joey Vitale,
No,
one of the
no,
funniest, funny.
no,
I love Joey
no,
Vitale. No,
no.
I'm not mentioning that. I'm not mentioning that.
I'm a hater now. I'm a hater now. I'm a hater
For
now.
those, for those who don't know what we're
No, don't
talking
even bring
about,
it up. Don't. They would know. They would know. It was all
they know.
over social media, bro. I was driving. I was driving home watching the game. Don't do this at home or in the car while you're driving. But I was watching the game as I was driving, and then I hear Joey Vitale. They're talking about Alexiak, Chris Kerber was,
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, he's 6'7". And then Joey Vitale, oh my god, someone should sucker punch that guy in the face. Love him, but what are you thinking? Seriously? 6-7.
I mean, let's just be
Oh,
honest. Like, would you rather have him, Jamie Rivers, or Darren Pang say it? I think out of all of them,
Darren
I
Pang.
think I think Panger would be a nice one to
Just because he's a
hear him say
goofball,
that.
anyways.
Um, but
God damn it. That was so stupid. I can't believe they said that on there. That is
it
so
doesn't
dumb.
shock me. It really doesn't shock me. Everyone all over like sports media, not even just the NHL, but the NFL, NBA, uh, not really much of the MLB because I think when that had gotten like real popular, MLB kind of was in playoff mode and it wasn't really much time for just banter back and forth. Um, but what I was mentioning with Joey Vitale is he went into very good detail as to why it should have been called goaltender interference, and I really don't understand, and I'm gonna keep saying I'm just in complete and utter shock. Uh, but with that being said, we cannot rely on zero point 0.5 or 1 second or 1.5 seconds left being they're defining why the Blues lost that game. The Blues lost that game because they decided to not show up for the second period, and that's just the cold-hearted truth. The team does not know how to play a full 60 minutes. I've mentioned this to a couple of people I know, and with a retooling team, you're not going to have perfection or at least consistency all the time. But the amount of inconsistency from this team after going on that insane run last year, putting up consistent numbers against the Winnipeg Jets in the playoffs, I really wonder what this team would be like if they made it to the second round.
Good question. um, honestly, honestly, probably the same. Only because I feel like this team does this every single year. Of consistency. They need to play a full 60 minutes. Blah blah blah. Ben disappeared, but I'm gonna keep talking. But yeah, it's just like I've just to everybody at home because Ben left. He died. But yeah, we just have the same conversation every year. If they can't finish out a game, they can't play a full 60 minutes, yada yada, blah blah blah. Goaltending sucks. This sucks. Whatever. It's all the same every year. It is this team. It's always the same. It's just St. Louis. Like you know how something just consistently stays the same like over and over and over. That is the St. Louis Blues. This is general. The second half, they're going to step it up. They're going to be in discussion for playoffs like they were that one year where they were poopy and then they had more points than the Islanders and the Islanders made the playoffs, but the Blues couldn't. Like Blues winning the Stanley Cup, and then I mean you had a couple years after that where it was actually good, and they're writing that, but it's just the same. They'll be fine. They're a good team on paper. I think it'll be fun if there were some trades, which will come up, but I also want to stray back to the previous game against Seattle and the whole goaltender interference. Shitty call. I think we could all honestly and all fans of the NHL could agree that's it's not a good call, but also same time that is the NHL. Like a goaltender interference is never the same. Never the same. Never the same. And that's a shame. It sucks. But my biggest pick is these guys have to get mad. Like I'm thinking like game 4 against San Jose, Eric Carlson or whatever hand pass mad. You know what I mean? Like they kind of have to get that mad and just let the beast loose. That's what they got to do. Hopefully they can do. I was hoping they would in overtime. Even though like I didn't know I went in overtime, but like I would hope that they would do that in overtime and they don't. Um, but yeah, they just yeah, it's the same story. And I love that Milan Lucic is playing first line next game.
First line for your Springfield Thunderbirds.
No,
Go
no,
go check
you
them
didn't
out.
hear. You didn't hear.
But
Oh, I just called him. He's getting the call up.
oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, Nico is Milan Lucic's Asian cousin.
Yeah, he beat me. He beat me a lot. But it's okay. The player assistance program got me, bro.
They they got your back.
They got my back. Yeah, Lucic. It doesn't. Lucic won't matter. Seriously, he won't matter. It's an internal thing with these guys. It's a locker room thing. Shen's got to get a hold of these guys, and these guys have to look up. Like the message in there is poop. So they got to figure it out. It's all on them. It's all on the players. No coaching, no coach. Every coach, every GM, any sort of staff member in this organization safe. It is seriously just the players at this point. We've seen Chief go, Mike Yeo go. He sucked. We've seen Hitch go. We've seen Drew Bannister, my king. He left or he gone, and we have Jim Montgomery, a good coach. So it's players. I don't know. I could ramble, but I don't want to ramble about it because they suck. They piss me off.
You're 100% right. Like it's not a coaching problem anymore because you can only change out a coach so many times before you find the right one. And truly I think you're also right on Shen's ability to get a hold of these guys and really kind of have them come back with that fire. Like you mentioned, game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. I think that's a perfect example of what the Blues need to be doing. And I don't know if you saw the practice on Sunday as well as today. Those guys look tired. I don't know what it was or how often they did it, but they were just doing suicides. Um,
Good.
it seemed like the whole practice. And also, it should be mentioned that Montgomery said that they were going to have that practice regardless, or that kind of practice regardless of the win against Seattle or not. Um, but truly, I think it should be noted that Neighbors was also skating. Neighbors was skating a little
Thank
bit. That doesn't mean
you.
he's going to be back next week. Doesn't mean he's going to be back the week after that. But that's a step in the right direction for
Yeah.
what seems to be a struggling Blues forward core.
Yeah. I back on Shen is a good player in the National Hockey League. Shen is a good leader. I feel like the St. Louis Blues team needs a leader, at least when Ryan O'Reilly was around, that could lead by example. Shen, I trust me, like I could 100% say that Shen says all the right things. Shen acts and does and tries to get these guys fired up, but like the guy is not producing. So I feel like that's something that this team needs in a captain. Like I would love to see if Jake Neighbors was like I would give Jake weird hot take. I would give Jake Neighbors a C because he's producing and he's got that fire energy. I know you go teeter totter there, but like one that he is like St. Louis Blues hockey. Two, he was producing. I mean, he's still the leading goal scorer, tied for leading goal scorer right now, even being out like the last 2 weeks. Um, Three, Buddy could throw the body, lay it down. I feel like as a lead by example goes, Neighbors is going to be the best overall guy, just because I feel like he always gives it his all. I wouldn't do Thomas. I love Tomer. I wouldn't do Thomas just because I feel like I feel like he's one of those guys that's missing a gear. I love Robert. I love him. But he's missing a gear right now. He cannot find that sixth gear, and it's pissing me off. Like he's still making all these great passes and plays and everything, but there's just something there. When I do my eye test, I say, dude, you're missing something that I saw in the back half of last year. To be fair, he did have a kid, so I feel bad for him.
You feel bad?
Yeah, same age as me, man, and he can't play Chell no more. He's gonna have a child.
Jeez. I mean, I get that. Um, but I think you're totally right, though, about just
Yeah.
with Robert Thomas, as well as Jake Neighbors. Like, Jake Neighbors would be a perfect
What is this?
captain, come,
Oh, cool. Thanks.
like, she make you something?
There's chocolate. What kind of chocolate is this? Huh? Why is
Oh,
it crunchy?
chocolate.
I'm choking on it.
Is it
Whoa.
spicy or something?
No. When I was chewing, It kind of like trickled down my throat.
Mm. Um,
Yeah, you like
but
that, don't you?
I didn't say anything like that. You
I
making
saw
it
your
all weird
face.
now. Making it
I
all
saw your
weird
face.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Making it all weird
Ben
now.
was
But
licking his lips.
you're right. Exactly, I was. No, but I think you're totally right as far as Jake Neighbors fitting that St. Louis Blues style of hockey. If I'm going to be completely honest,
Be completely honest with
I
me.
don't I don't think that the Blues have a single captain material type player right now on their roster.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
I don't think that's
Nathan
that
Walker
crazy of
is taking that to the heart.
I don't think that that's that crazy of a take. Like Braden Shen is your captain, and I'm not going to say that he isn't captain material, but currently, if we're talking the 25-26 St. Louis Blues, as you mentioned, he's just not producing. And as a captain, you have to lead by example. Look at some of the best captains in the league. Uh, let's look at Connor McDavid. Quite literally, the definition of leading by example. You don't. He doesn't have to be some absolute juggernaut when it comes to laying the body, but he's a point producer and he uses
Yep.
his voice and leads by example.
Yep.
Let's go and take a look at Quinn Hughes, one of those guys
Quinny.
that he can kind of lay the body even. But again, a point producer on the back end of your or on your defense and is able to get the boys going. Although Vancouver isn't anything too crazy right now, but
Yeah.
you get my point though. These skilled players are becoming captains, and that's where the St. Louis Blues lack that kind of skilled player that can also be a great locker room presence. I think that's truly where Ryan O'Reilly kind of. I think the last good captain that the Blues had was Ryan O'Reilly. I don't think
But I
Shen
mean,
is
that
a
was the
bad
last
captain.
captain.
Well, yes, but like true captain. Petrangelo was great.
Wow.
I think Petrangelo was another good one, but I think Ryan O'Reilly is one of the better captains and more one of the underappreciated captains in Blues history.
Wow.
Like
So do the Blues trade for him?
that's another thing that I'm just like sitting here, if the Blues if the Blues are really in it,
Shen for
I'm
O'Reilly, who
curious.
says no?
Probably St. Louis. I feel like you can get a lot more for Shen than what O'Reilly's giving you, which also um I made a post today, asked for some mock trades from you guys. Not a lot of people wanted to give us realistic mock trades.
Can I
So
read a comment
instead,
that was from there?
you more than welcome to.
Okay.
You're more than welcome
Keep talking
to
though.
read a comment. Um, but I made a list of three players, and those players are going to be Braden Shen, Justin Falk, and Jordan Bennington. And for each of those players, I created a list of teams that I think that are realistic fits uh, for the teams. But as soon as you get that comment pulled up, let me know, and then I'll read you off the teams.
I take. Let's just round up the 1200th round pick and a ham sandwich from 12 years ago for Mayu, or who is it? Mayu or Shen?
It was
What was he talking
Mayu.
about? Mayu to be gone. Shout out. Okay, seriously. Um, where? Ooh, somebody left a. Okay, somebody left a good one. I saw. Where'd
Iceman,
shoot.
right?
Yeah, where'd Iceman go? Where'd Iceman?
He replied to that comment. I'm almost certain it was.
Yeah, he did. Okay, there we go. Okay. Um, shout out, shout out Iceman on Instagram for like that dude has. I'm not kidding. Has been around like the Instagram since day one. Since I
Shout
started it,
out.
like four. I think 4 years ago now. 4 years ago is when I started it, and he's been around. That dude during the season like commented on every single one of my my post
Absolute
game posts. Yeah,
beast.
because I talk about it, and then he'd be like, during the rough time, he'd be like, "This team right now is a joke. They're missing like this." Like, he'll be harsh, but it's like it's not like a troll harsh.
Right.
It's to the point. Iceman, great, great follower. As for delete the Sabres franchise, that's my boy. That guy has also
He's
been
not
around
actually
since day
saying
one.
delete the Sabres franchise, but
That's just his
actually
name.
that's just his username.
Yeah, that guy has also been DMing me since the start. And I told Ben at the start, I said, "Hey, don't even reply to this guy's DMs. Just let me handle it." And then this guy's DMing me, and I see Ben tune in. I'm like, "No, Ben, you don't know what you're getting into, Ben,
Oh my
Ben."
word.
Yeah,
You know,
he used to go on Twitter and be all like when Bedard or like anybody, any good player he didn't like, he'd be like, career injury I hope happens. Like on every single star player. And everybody in the comments would be like, "What is wrong with you?" And it'll be like, "Fuck you guys are fucking gay." Like, oh
that's
god.
insane. That
That
is
kid,
insane.
yeah, yeah. He's funny, man. He's funny. I just love those trolls. It's so funny. And he comments all he sends me. I feel bad because now I'm getting busy and he just keeps sending posts and I don't reply. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, my
Yeah,
friend. I
I mean,
miss.
life happens. But anyways, so I guess we'll just start off with we'll go from Bennington to Falk to Shen here.
Whoa, those are the three players you want traded?
No, I
Ben
had
wants them
three.
gone. Ben is saying
I,
these are my top three players I want off this team for good because they suck. Do you hear that,
this is not what I
Jordan? Do you hear
said.
that, Justin? You hear that, Braden? This guy hates you.
Look, if there is one player you and I can both agree on, I'm not going to say this player's name. You guys, for those who are listening, you have a 33.333 chance to guess who we're thinking of. Honestly, probably a better chance just because I feel as if the other two players have been good to this franchise, except for the one that we're mentioning. I'm not even going to try and say, uh, I'm not even going to say who we're talking about, but that's for you guys to decide.
Should I give
But
a hint?
I think we can both give the same hint if it's only one word, right?
Terrorist.
Terrorist.
Okay, I'll give a better hint. This guy got his fucking head knocked off against the Colorado Avalanche when they got swept. We absolutely despise this man on the St. Louis Blues franchise, and we want him gone.
Well, I mean, technically that could be two of the three players.
You're right. You're actually right.
Unfortunately.
Because we're obviously going to be talking about Justin Falk, and I want to give 2 cents on Justin Falk. Okay, he's rough, but he's not. I I feel like it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. I can't just pin it all on him when it's a team issue because they all suck. So Justin Falk, I feel like he's putting up points. I'm pretty sure. So
For
at
an
least
offensive defenseman who is aging, he has done not bad. And
yeah.
he's like, what, 33 years old right now?
Jesus, he's that old. Oh my god. Let me look it up
The
because I
stash
know
makes
he.
him look 6 years younger.
Yeah, he's got 8 points in 16 games. That's actually it's not
Half a
bad.
point per game is not bad at all
And he's
for a
got
defenseman.
three. He's got three goals. Hold on, let me pull this up. Hold on.
He is typing for those who are listening.
I am typing because I swear it was like last year, 2 years ago, where um
His plus minus is just always so bad. And
yeah.
I think
So
that's also due part of who he has as a D partner because he's quite literally had like Nick Leddy, Philip Broberg last year, but like Broberg was actually good last year.
yeah,
Um,
like, here's what I'm talking about though. Like I don't want to hate too much on Justin Falk because he does 3 goals in 16 games. In 78 games last year, he had four, and in 60 games the year before, he had two. So
good for
he's
him. Good
yeah
for Falk.
he's scoring. So like that's where like listen, I would be totally okay with trading Justin Falk just because the direction of this team right now is obviously going way downhill, and if they don't figure it out, just sending him away. Send him away. It's over because we're gonna suck regardless. So it's like whatever. But Falk could gain some value. Like he's doing pretty good. Like if his value is the highest it's been in like 4 years since he had 50 points in 22-23. Or maybe 21-22. He had 16 goals, but like yeah, like his value's high right now. He might be a terrorist, but damn, he's good at it.
Yeah, he's good at being a terrorist. Um, but let's just start off with Bennington. This is just going to be a quick and easy one.
Here we go.
I think it's
Send him to Edmonton.
I think it should be noted that Bennington has a 10-team no trade clause, as well as both Falk and Shen. I think those might be 16 teams, or at least a little
15.
bit more than 15.
Yeah, 15
Okay, I
each.
knew it was a little bit more than Bennington. But the
Yeah.
two teams that I have listed uh, for Jordan Bennington is the Edmonton Oilers and Toronto Maple Leafs. Two Canadian teams, two teams that have been linked to him in the past, especially the Oilers. The Oilers are in desperate need of consistent goaltending, and while Bennington right now isn't giving you that, come playoff time when the Oilers quite literally need goaltending the most, uh, Bennington gives you that. You saw that at the Four Nations. You saw it in the 2019 Stanley Cup. You saw it last year when the Blues went to the playoffs. And any other time the Blues have gone to the playoffs, Bennington has showed up. There really hasn't been a time that Bennington hasn't showed up in the playoffs. So Edmonton and then Toronto, I think is an interesting one. I think that Toronto will be linked to Bennington just because that's his hometown team.
Yeah.
Like it just makes a lot of sense, as well as their current goaltending tandem isn't like too great. I know Bennington isn't much better, if at all better, than what they currently have, but I think that Bennington fits their current timeline as far as uh, current player group, as well as they have Chief. Chief definitely is
Who?
a big fan of Chief.
Who?
Uh, is a big fan of Jordan Bennington,
Who?
as we all know.
Yeah. I would. I would actually listen if the Edmonton Oilers get Jordan Bennington at any point, they're winning the Stanley Cup. If they could scratch and claw their way to a Stanley Cup final with
Don't
Stuart
forget Calvin
Skinner.
Pickard. Calvin Pickard is the
Yeah, that
guy.
guy should also jump off a bridge too. But Stuart Skinner especially, because that's going to be your starter. He could, because he shows sometimes flashes. It's just like the trade for Jordan Bennington to Edmonton is where I don't wrap my head around it, because Edmonton would have for sure looked to offload Stu Skinner. Like that's the thing. Like ah, I don't know, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it would be bad.
I'd actually like to see him in Edmonton just so Edmonton could finally get over the hump and McDavid could win a Stanley Cup, which I think would be awesome. But I mean, as for Toronto, like Joseph Wool has also been in the player assistance program for a minute now, and I think is going to return maybe soon. He's a young guy who has a lot of potential and could play good. And Stolarz hasn't been bad either. Um, so I mean, Benner, I feel like it's just gonna stay. I think he's gonna hang around, just because his personality. Unless like Doug Armstrong just says "see ya," but just based off his personality, I don't think Benner wants to go. Just because he is like a legend, and he's the guy's got an ego. He's arrogant. Like he's got an ego. Like he knows he's a hot shot. That's why he's always so calm and cool. That's the vibe I get from him, which is cool because when he gets there and his ego's high, like he gets wrong. We've all seen it. We know what it is. So yeah, he's an arrogant little guy. So I hope they don't trade him. I like Benner. I think he'd be a great backup to Hofer in the future. And Hofer, shout out Hofer for the last two starts. I don't know how the second period looked, but it looked like he was. It seemed like he was hung out to dry the last game. But shout out against Sabres where he looked good, and then the first period saves I saw from Hofer also sick too. So shout out
Yeah,
Hofer.
yeah.
Benner's traded. He's going to the Philadelphia Flyers for Bobby Brink.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I'm just
Um,
talking on my ass. You don't even have to say nothing.
but let's talk about a defenseman here, Justin Falk, um, who I think if any of these guys were traded, I think he's probably the second likeliest player to be traded. I think Shen is at the top currently. Um, Bennington at the bottom, of course. But I'm just going to name off some suitors, and then we can talk about why they fit for each. First team is the Buffalo Sabres. Second team, Carolina Hurricanes. Third team, Vegas Golden Knights. I threw in some question mark teams, the Ducks, Bruins, and Penguins, just because I don't know. But let's just go ahead and start with the Sabres. I mentioned this to you when we were in talks for Bowen Byram, and there were talks about offloading contracts and which player would be like what player would be likely to be offloaded to Buffalo. And I said Justin Falk, and I truly think that Justin Falk could be a good fit for the Buffalo Sabres. If you look at their current defensive core, how they're built, they're very left handed heavy and missing a little bit of offense too. Um, Currently, they have Darlene on IR. I don't know how long that's going to last. Um, but I think also it would be nice to have a bit of a veteran presence.
I was
I think a
muted,
bit of a
silly idiot I
you're
am.
muted.
But no,
I think
Darlene,
a
there's some drama, or there's like some about like the military. I don't know. Some goofy shit's happening overseas right now with
yeah.
Darlene. That's why he's
I
over
have
there.
no idea what's going on with him. Prayers to whatever's going on. I have to read more into that. Um, but I think a good veteran presence for that defensive core paired with Darlene uh, would make a lot of sense, as well as he's a right-handed defenseman, something that they clearly lack. I think there's maybe one or two right-handed defensemen in their six defensive players, and including some of the scratched players. The Carolina Hurricanes being the next team. Well, before I do that, what do you think about the Sabres?
I don't. I actually really do like Buffalo, like truly. Just because like Alex Tuck is sick, Tage Thompson is sick. Um, I'm looking at the roster right now. Zach Benson's good at hockey. Josh Doan, shout out Arizona boy. And then Darlene is sick. Power's just there. Bowen Byram's pretty good. Samuelson's low key, like underrated. Kesserling is also great. A team that you brought up for Justin Falk that I feel like is actually super valid. Okay. I don't know how they're gonna make it work genuinely, but I would say Vegas only because, dude, Alex Petrangelo's done playing hockey. His career is over. I love Petro. His career is done. It's done. It's over. Like that, he's dead. Bye bye. So now they're down a top end right defense. They're down their number one right defenseman, right? Um,
As well as Noah Hannafin,
yeah. So it's
or I guess he's back now, but he was gone for a little bit.
it's just how do you replace him? But that's gonna be tough. Excuse me, Jesus, because of all this LTIR money bullshit or whatever.
They'll make it work.
Yeah,
They'll make it work.
they always figure it out. Like maybe we send Justin Falk over for Trevor Connolly. That's too
I
many
think you get a
wins.
lot more than that.
Really?
I don't know.
Connolly was a first
I
round pick. He's sick. He's really good. He's a
yeah,
little hothead
he's a
though.
good player. I
Or
think
maybe like maybe like Dora Fayette. No, that's not gonna happen.
Dorofeyev is not. He's on one of the cheaper
How about this?
contracts in the
Justin
NHL.
Falk for Brandon Sod. Who says no?
I don't know. Probably
Maybe we
St.
get
Louis.
Ivan back.
Listen, as
Jack
far
Eichel.
as Vegas goes, the reason why I picked them is I did some stat digging earlier in the day. We're currently recording this at night. Did some digging, and Vegas is at the bottom of the league by points from D-men. 17
Shit,
of their
really?
points for the entire season have come from their defensemen.
That's well, the loss of Petrangelo. I mean, even when he's older, it's tough. But Petrangelo gone. I'm surprised that Theodore is still really good, and same with Hannafin's a good player too. They're paying big money for those two. 14. Let's call it 15 million between those two a year for the next like 4 or 5 years. Ooh, that's
I
ooh.
think, and that's again, that's why I mentioned that I think Falk makes perfect sense for Vegas. Again, they're missing that offensive heavy defenseman, and you can pair him with a Noah Hannafin, or even I think Jeremy Lozon and Justin Falk will make a perfect pair, just because Lozon is one of those kind of stay at home defensemen, while Falk can join up in on the rush. Uh,
Yeah.
I think Vegas makes some sense, as well as sending him back where everything started. Carolina.
Don't say it.
Um,
Oh my god. You are unreal.
I think
Carolina.
Carolina makes some sense as well. I think they could use some veteran presence as well as again some more goal scoring uh, when it comes to it.
They
Currently,
need
they rank
D in general right now. Like Slavin, Gossespierre, and Chatfield are all on IR.
and it's not season ending IR or long or LTIR, so they'd be coming back a little bit sooner. So maybe Carolina, maybe not. You never know. But at the time of recording this, I think Falk makes some sense for him. They currently rank sixth best in the NHL points by D-men, which is insane because when you currently look at their roster build, defensively, it's like how are they top 10 in the NHL when it comes to that?
Well, Keandre Miller's super low key, and he was hurt for a while, and he just came back. Right, Slavin we know is super good. I think Sean Walker is insanely underrated too. I mean, we saw what he could do with that little stint with Colorado when they acquired him at the trade deadline like a year or two ago. Because I thought he was sick nasty, and Shane Goss too is a point getter. I saw him here in Phoenix, and guy's a dog. Um, I think I would really like if Carolina picked him back up, especially with all the injuries right now. And I'm looking, and there's not really they don't have a top end right shot defenseman. They have Keandre Miller left, Slavin left, Walker's right, but then Gossespierre's left. Chatfield is right, but he's more bottom pair guy. Mike Riley left. Alexander Nikishin, however the hell you say it, left, and then you get into Joel
Nikishin, yeah.
Nystrom, 23 years old, right, and then some Charles Alexis Lego, right, 22 years old. It's just like, um, as for some veteran depth, I guess in the right side, they're missing it, but at the same time, they do have vets on D like Slavin, Walker, Gossespierre, and Chatfield. Like
Yeah.
that's and even Mike Riley. I would love if Carolina picked him up just because I know Falk would thrive, but also same time if they pick up Justin Falk, who has a contract this year and next year, they need to figure out their goalie situation coming up because they have Frederick Anderson, who's their starter, that's only signed for this year, and then next year they have Kochekov, who knows, or Brandon Bussy, Bussy.
Bro.
Um, so they're they're an interesting team. Like they're yeah. That's interesting.
That's that.
It's super interesting. I don't really. The league right now is so weird. It's so weird.
It's taking a turn, like an unexpected one too. Like I'm not gonna say, and this is totally unrelated to like the Carolina Hurricanes, but like I don't think anyone had the Sharks or the Blackhawks being as good as they are currently, and there's still plenty of time for them to become inconsistent and
Chicago
fall off.
won't hold up there. Chicago will fall. I promise you, Spencer Knight is actually playing out of his mind. Out of his mind. Shout out Spencer Knight for being a fucking dog. Like
Shout out
holy
Florida.
smokes.
You want to talk about an absolute fleece of a deal? Yeah,
Well,
I want to talk about.
I wouldn't say. Oh God, I don't want to say fleece because Seth Jones was there and he did help him win a Stanley Cup. So
I mean, yeah, but he's kind of like a he's kind of like a Justin Falk esque kind of player if you really think about it.
you're right. You're right. It's just tough because has Justin Falk ever won a Stanley Cup?
No.
Well, there you go.
That is perfect.
Seth Jones
Let's talk.
has.
Speaking of Stanley Cup, let's talk about a team for Falk that could maybe help them win a Stanley Cup. Let's talk about the Boston Bruins. I think they make a little bit of sense for him, and here's why.
Oh,
The Bruins are in such an interesting situation. Defensively, maybe not as, in need of a guy like Falk, but I think that they are so, like, not even ride or die, but more so like boom or bust right now. They have to win. They're not really committing in any sort of direction, And I think if you traded David Pasternak, I think that that would make a lot of sense. It would make clear sense as far as committing in a direction. But if you look at their roster, even the forward core, it's just a weird team. Like they could be good, but they're not really like committed to anyone. Like yeah, you have Fraser Minton. Yeah, you still have guys like Beecher and Middlestat who are part of that younger core, and even Matthew Patra. But you're not really committing to that youth movement yet, and there's not really anyone that is kind of helping this team push forward besides like McAvoy and Pasternak.
Pasternak for Kairu and Falk. Who says no?
Imagine Falk declines it because of his no trade clause.
Okay, if you are the Boston Bruins GM and you actually accept that trade, you're really dumb. Like
Yeah,
you're a dumb idiot.
yeah.
You're a dumb idiot brain.
The fact that Pasternak is putting up 100 points with the outlook of this roster just baffles me.
Elias Lindholm Lowe is having a bounce back season, even though he's hurt right now. I picked him up in fantasy. He's been a dog. He's been a dog. Drafted him. He's a dog. But yeah, Falk, yeah, him there. I don't know. He just send them, just put him on the market. Say, I'll take a ham and cheese sandwich.
I genuinely think you can get something from Falk. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the post, it was reported by Darren Drager, how you pronounce his name, from TSN, mentioned that Doug Armstrong is going to get or is expecting penthouse value for these guys, meaning, in layman's terms, that he is going to get an absolute haul back for these guys. He's not going to just concede and get back little bits like a second round pick or a third round pick for these guys. He's going to get the absolute haul that he needs. He wants to make it worth the while to really put this team out there and say, or put those guys out there and say, they're available for the right price.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at different D trades that would be that have happened recently. That would be kind of like on the same level, just to kind of like I feel like it would be like kind of like a higher pick, like a third and like a mid-tier prospect, maybe. Maybe
You can
maybe
call
you
me
could fetch a
crazy.
second. Don't say it first. There's no way.
You can call me crazy, but I genuinely think if the Blues retained any salary on Falk, you could see somewhat of a return like you did for Seth Jones. And I'm not even saying that because you brought up Seth Jones. I'm being serious when I say this. Seth
Wow.
Jones was just such a bad defenseman in
Wow.
Chicago, and that's also due part because he was playing with a bad defensive partner. I mean, in Chicago, you're not, at least in the last few seasons, you're not really going to be playing with anyone um, like insane defensively, at least. Now, like Artem Levshinov is going off. It's besides the point. Um, they retained a lot of salary for Seth Jones to go to Florida. So I think if the Blues were smart, Doug Armstrong was smart, which he is, I think you retain the salary, retain half of his salary for the last 2 years of his contract because the Blues are able to do it. They're not in any sort of cap, you know, frenzy or close to uh, being towards the cap come next year. So if you retain a little bit of salary on Justin Falk's contract, you're guaranteed to get a better return.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know with him. I mean, here's like a because I'm looking like here's one Brady Shea to Carolina for first, which is somewhat respectable because he was on year two, 5.25 million, but also Brady Shea at the time when he got sent over to Carolina in 2020, 25 years old. I'm trying to find something that's actually respectable and pretty even of recent years, but it's tough. Excuse me. It's tough finding something. It's tough. I accidentally clicked on 2019 trades too. I was like, oh my lord, when was Duchesne with Columbus? Ah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Falk's an interesting one. Falk's an interesting one. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what the dealio Schmilio is, but why don't you go to the last one? Why don't you talk about Braden Shen? Let me hear what you got to
Let's
say.
talk about the captain, Braden Shen. And let's see, we have a total of about like 8 teams here, and there's probably more that I'm missing that would make sense for any organization. I think Shen makes a lot of sense for any team, but these teams that I named here make a little bit more sense than others. First one, and I texted you about this, Nico. The Washington Capitals,
No, you didn't text
Pierre
me
Luc
about this.
Dubois. Pierre Luc Dubois is out for 3 to 4 months, so I think that's clear and obvious. They're missing about like a 40 to 60 point forward. He could be more than that. I could be just completely off. Uh, but nonetheless, a hard checking forward, which Braden Chen fills that. Toronto Maple Leafs, again,
Yep.
that makes a ton of sense. Braden Chen reuniting with Chief. Um, it makes a ton of sense. Again, another team that's kind of in that do or die situation. They're not like Matthews isn't going to leave them, at least as of right now, but it just makes total and complete sense for them to be in the market for him. The Tampa Bay Lightning, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning could make some sense. Again, they're almost like a perennial playoff team that likes to check, and they're honestly always just in that push. There's nobody like look at their second line center right now, and obviously Yanni Gord could easily fill that spot, but Dominic James, he's 4 points in 9 games, good player, but I think it's safe to say that uh, that the Tampa Bay Lightning would rather have a guy like Braden Shen. You could even
Where's
slide
Anthony
Braden
Cirelli
Shen.
playing?
I think Sorelli is currently injured, or
Oh,
on yeah, injured in the press box.
I would
Nick
assume
Paul is
he's
out for the
the.
long term, but you can still throw Shen on the wing.
Oh, I'm
It doesn't
seeing.
matter.
Ooh,
You could throw him on the right wing. You could throw him left, center, whatever it is. I think he makes perfect sense for Tampa at this moment. This is at the moment of recording. Another team. We talked about him with Vegas, or talked about Volk with this team. It's Vegas. I guess I kind of gave it away. Uh, I think Vegas makes some sense. I think maybe moving him to the third line again if you retained any sort of salary just to make it work. Um, this is a fun one, and I don't know what you think about it. The San Jose Sharks. I also don't know what Braden Shen would think about it.
what the hell?
I think it's a fun team. I think the Sharks, again, this isn't like, okay, he's definitely going to be linked to there. I'm giving you guys just what I personally think. I'm not a perfect, you know, any sort of source. So don't just take what I say with a grain of salt. Unless I'm right, then then you can trust me on everything. But I think Shen makes a little bit of sense for this Sharks roster. Get a little bit of, especially if they're making a push for the playoffs, you can again retain some salary as well as as well as getting more back for Shen. Just even if you didn't retain any salary, like Shen by himself makes a little bit of sense.
You want to hear
Um,
my where I genuinely think he's gonna go?
where do you think he's gonna go? Where? What do you think his team is going to be?
A team that absolutely needs a second line center, and this is the dark horse of the National Hockey League right now. The dark horse, the most exciting team in the National Hockey League is
Drum roll.
Montreal. Like Montreal. It's actually, I'm looking at it right here. It's perfect. They have $6.6 million in cap space right now. Current cap space 6.6 million. Their second line center currently is Oliver Kapanen, playing between Newhook and Demidov. I see everywhere online, like Montreal Twitter is my Twitter right now. It's frustrating. And if you log in, and bless you, if you log into Blue Blog too on Twitter, um, you'll see it's a lot. It seriously is a lot of Montreal stuff. which is like which is cool. It's fine. I could also see maybe potentially Bennington going there as well, if anything. Just because I feel like their goaltending, I feel like a second line center and goaltending is really what they're missing to really get them like there. I mean, Dobesh is good and Montebo's there, but I mean, as for like prospects like Massar, Wi-Fi would be fun. Reinbacher, who was like their fifth overall pick too, would be something that they could probably kind of get. Jacob Fowler as well if we were to send Bennington, who I forget where he was he Boston or was that Minnesota State
I could not tell you, to be
for
completely
for
honest.
Jacob Fowler, but he's good. I watched him play in college. I just forget where. But that's a team where I could see him going either way. Seriously, either way, he's good. He's yeah, Boston College. Boston College. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, in Boston College put up a 926 and a 940 save percentage, putting up 914, 914 the last two seasons with the Laval Rocket too. So I feel like I could trust Joel Hofer too, but if you want to go that route, there's like Montreal has just so many damn prospects there to choose from if you kind of want to aim more towards a retool. And if you wanted to go something like a little bit older, like if you needed some D, maybe Mike Matheson, um, maybe like
He
a
was actually rumored to
really.
be with the St. Louis Blues during the offseason with Jordan Kyrou talks and all that. Him and Kirby Doc both.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Kirby Doc as well if you want to replace him with some sort of captaincy role. Maybe like I don't want it. Like maybe Brendan Gallagher. Maybe I don't want
You
it,
just
but
trade
like,
for Bolduc.
is Zach Bolduc is there? Like their untouchables would be Suzuki, Caulfield, um, Hudson, Dobson, Demidov. I feel like.
And
Maybe
Slavkovsky.
a Slavkovsky. I feel like if you pry, you could get.
I mean, that's also with like almost any NHL player except for like a select few.
Yeah, yeah. But Montreal, I feel like is going to be the best suit for
I think
both
another
guys.
team. I think another team for Braden Shen, and I mentioned them in the. I didn't mention them yet in the pod, but in my list of teams where he could go, I genuinely don't know if we've traded with this team before. I could be completely stupid in saying this, but I think the Winnipeg Jets could
Never
also make
traded them.
sense. And the main two reasons. One, his brother. His brother's there. He'd easily accept a
Oh,
trade.
that'd be cool.
Uh, there was a lot of talk last trade deadline in the 2024-25 season where there was talk between Shen being traded and where would Luke Shen go, and if where Luke Shen went, would Braden follow? It was really just a bunch of commodity between all of that. But now that Shen is in Winnipeg, uh, I think that's also one of the more driving points behind Braden Shen going to Winnipeg, as well as they could use him 100%. They could easily drop Taves down to the 4C and um, even, or Adam Lowry. Pick your poison. But adding Braden Shen would quite literally make that one of the best center cores in all of hockey. I'm honestly surprised they don't have Gabriel Velarde uh, at center this year. Clearly, it's paid off for him as well as with Winnipeg. But you could also throw Shen on the left wing on the second line, or throw Taves on the second line left wing. Whatever you want to do, I think Shen fits the Winnipeg Jet way when it comes to checking. They're very. I feel as if they're pretty similar to St. Louis when it comes to that.
The only problem with Winnipeg is how do you make that money work? I mean, like if maybe if they send Velarde our way, but like if I were to aim for anybody on this team, I would be my eyeballs, and this is just me as a fan. Braden Yeager and Colby Barlow. I think Colby Barlow's sick. He's got a nasty shot, nasty. and then Braden Yeager that's just getting more center depth. It's just like right now it's so tough to be talking about trades like for prospects and maybe other players when like the I just feel like the Blues are right like the prospects are there. Carbonell, Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Stenberg, um, Jekko, Pakarchik, Juracek, Lindstein, like all these Skinner, Mayu, all these prospects, like they have a solid prospect pool that could I feel like over time like make the step to the show, and it would just be so tough to trade for more prospects. Like I don't like they may say like I want to make it. I don't know what a trade would look like. I don't know. Now my brain is being swiveled. You put my brain on a swivel, Ben. All right,
That
guys,
is
that's all for
something you
tonight. That's all
can.
for tonight. Bye.
But that's definitely something we can talk about for the next one as far as mock trades. We'll have about like a week or so to really kind of gather our thoughts um, and
Hell,
also
maybe
let the
something
teams
happens
just
with them
play.
then.
I I don't think teams are that desperate right now. If any team, like I mentioned, were desperate for a forward, it's likely Washington. But again, this is way too early in the season to really be making that kind of move, even though it would be sending a message to your team. Who is going to help drive that team, like Braden Shenwood or Jordan Bennington? Like I think Pareko is a good voice in the locker room. And I mean, again, I say this as if I'm in the locker room. I don't know what exactly like Robert Thomas is like in the locker room, let alone, like I just mentioned, Pareko. But hearing the way these guys talk in press conferences, off ice interviews, on ice interviews, uh, a guy like Pareko is a good assistant captain. But as I mentioned earlier, nobody has that kind of captain drive like Braden Shen. And that's where I feel like the Blues could easily turn around and say, you know what, instead of trading Justin Falk, Jordan Bennington, another name that wasn't mentioned, Jordan Cairo, Braden Chen, we go out and trade for Ryan O'Reilly and
What
even
up, Brian?
back more of that veteran presence with the forward group and really kind of build around these younger guys like Robert Thomas and Jordan Cairo and Jimmy Snuggerud and even Dalibor Dvorsky, who has honestly earned his spot at the NHL level
Yeah,
in his first 4 or 5 or so games.
100%. I agree.
Well, at this time of the pod, um, we're gonna play a little game.
Wow,
We're gonna
Ben
play a
Ben
little
made a
game.
game.
No, it's not much of a game. It's a little bit of a game, but currently the St. Louis Blues are ranked 5, 8, and 3. Not great.
Ooh, boo! My
On to a
prediction
win.
was bad. I said they're going to run and they didn't. Boo.
I'm gonna ask this. Don't look it up.
Okay.
When was the last time that the St. Louis Blues started a season 5, 8, and 3?
Boo, 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 no, 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 no. Boo, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'd like to solve the answer.
And Nico's answer is drumroll please.
Can I get a hint?
No.
Is it within 6 years?
It's within the last 20 years. I'll give you that.
2005, 2006.
You are painfully close, my friend. The last time the St. Louis Blues started 5, 8, and 3 was the 2006-2007 season.
Ah, so close. I just figured because that was our Eric Johnson first overall year, so I was like, that's got to be around there because we were really dog shit until what was it that 2012 or 2011 2012 11 the
I think it
San
was
Jose
I think it
Sharks
was
series.
2011,
Yeah,
2012 year is where the Blues really started to
pick it
pick it
up.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's some key things that happened during that season. They fired head coach Mike Kitchen, went like 7-14 and something, I believe it was. Um, at the trade deadline, traded Keith. Keith Kachuk was traded. for a first, a second, a third, and then it was also a conditional first if the Thrashers re-signed Kachuk, which didn't happen because the Blues ended up trading for Keith. I think it was like literally within like months. I kid you not.
Mhm.
Um, they traded Bill Guerin, the Blues did, for a first, Jay Barabal and Ville Nieminen. They traded Dennis Weidman, and here comes the legend Brad Boys. That's when Brad Boys became St. Louis legend there. And then this one, not really much of a insanely like notable one, but a 2007 fifth for Jan Stasny.
Yeah, so I mean, they can move players for player. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. That's a fun little game, Ben. I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you dipped in your
Thanks.
creative
I
mind
appreciate
there.
that.
I that was fun.
Also, to mention, the Blues ended that season 34, 35, and 14. So, um, not a great finish to the season. Um, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. That's tough. I wonder what else. I wonder what else. Oh, something I did want to add out there right now about Braden Shen, just because we were talking about it recently. I was looking it up. Same with Bennington. I just pair the two a lot. Utah, just because I'm not a veggie guy, and I don't trust what's his name, Barrett Hayton as second line center. That's just something I throw out there. That's just something I throw out there because I was like,
You know, that was a team I was thinking of putting as a dark horse, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think it makes some sense,
were you
but
being completely honest?
I promise
It's
you.
just gonna be tough
I
because
promise
Logan
you.
Cooley goes from $950,000 this year to fucking $10 million fucking dollars
But good
in
for
the next
him,
8
though.
years.
Good for him.
No, seriously,
I
he's
mean,
gross. He's good.
he is a very good hockey player.
We should have got him with Jimmy. I would have
For
liked him with
Justin
Jimmy.
Falk.
No,
Justin
no,
Falk,
not
one for
Justin.
one.
Jimmy.
But also, not only was the 2006 2007 season um, the last time the Blues started 5-8-3, it only happened one other time, was the 1979-1980 season. Um, rest in peace, Barclay Player was fired from his head coaching duties that year.
Come on,
The Blues
Barky.
ended up trading Gary Unger's rights.
Huh.
Um, there's also a bunch of deals, like a bunch of little deals that ended up sending players for cash and cash for players. And then Blues traded for Blair Chapman, who ended up having, I'm pretty certain, like a 90-point season with the Blues eventually. Um, but I also do want to point out, going back to the 2006 2007 season, the very next season, they finished 33, 36, and 13. Um, after the 1979-1980 season, in which they finished 34, 34, and 12, um, they ended up going 45, 18, and 17 that very next season. Um, I think that I say all this to say that although this season might be a wash, I still don't think you can count them out. I think this roster is built a little bit different than any of the other rosters that I've just mentioned. Um, there's too much star power at the St. Louis Blues organization right now, with their current roster, as well as being again Jake Neighbors being injured. Just a lot of stuff I think that could be going their way. It's just not.
Yeah. Yeah, I need Jake. Jake, I miss you. Neighbors,
I
not
have him on my
Keith.
fantasy team.
You do?
I have him. Yeah, I
That
do.
sucks.
I know. I have him on my IR. Picked up another player. I picked up who did I pick up? Washington Capitals forward. It wasn't PLD. It was
Connor McMichael.
it was not Connor McMichael
Big Mike
either.
Michael fan.
It was
You know who I just picked up? I dropped Quentin Byfield for Vinny Trocek.
it's an interesting one. It was for Alexi Protas. That's who it was.
Really?
Yeah.
If you got if Trochek's available, keep an eye. He just came back from injury. He had 2 assists today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
Rangers
nice.
finally get a win at home. First win at home this year. Fun fact.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That has
imagine.
to be pretty bad for them.
They're still I think they're still mid tier even with all those losses at home. Yeah, they're tied for the holy shit. What a wild card race in the East. First 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, 17. Oh, geez. So there's one, two, three, four, five. Five teams tied for first and second wild card. All 18 points.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah, Tampa, Philly, Islanders, Detroit, New York. Toronto's right there. Washington's right there. Even Florida's pretty much right there. Even Buffalo's not too, I guess it's early, but let's look it up here. Yeah, 18, 18, 18. Winnipeg, Utah, LA, 17 for San Jose. Good on them. 17
Again,
Minnesota, Vancouver 17,
you
Edmonton 16, Nashville 14, St. Louis 13. What a joke! They
you
suck.
mentioning all of these standings, you mentioning all of the points that these teams have, just makes it that much more clear and obvious that there shouldn't be a trade with the St. Louis Blues within the next week or two. And if there is, it's going to be a player for a player. I highly doubt, again, as you mentioned earlier, that they trade for more prospects unless it's, some God sent prospect. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah, like Nico
absolute
Pauly.
insane hockey player. Maybe. You
I'm
never know.
gross, bro. I'm in beer league the other night. I had 2 goals and an assist. I was walking them, bro.
Heck yeah. Heck
D
yeah.
league, worst league in fucking Peoria, Arizona.
Also, wanted to point this out. For all of those Zachary Boldu or excuse me, Logan Mayu haters, um,
Keep hating.
no, don't keep hating. But for those saying that the Blues absolutely lost that trade, keep this in mind. Zachary Bolduc, and don't quote me on this exact like point for point, whatever. Zachary Bolduc has 2 points in his last, I think it's 11 or 12 games, something like that.
I'm about to fact check you right now. So, all right, he's got
While
six
he was
points
off
in
to a hot,
15 games.
yeah,
Last 5 games, nothing. One, two, three, four, five. Last 5 games, he had assists against Vancouver. Oh yeah, he's been a little butt. So he only has 2 points since October 14th. Oh yeah, actually, after the first 3 games of the season, that guy cooled down. Wow. Yeah, you're right, Ben.
yeah.
Wow, this guy sucks.
Listen, Zachary Bolduc has every opportunity in Montreal to really blossom as a player. And even in St. Louis, he kind of had that opportunity, but considering, you what are you doing
Cracking my
with your
wrist.
wrist? He's like I can't even explain what he's doing. He's just like putting his wrist up and down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Um,
it needs a little stretch and crack.
but with Bolduc, he has every opportunity in Montreal to really grow. Where in St. Louis, it was just really hard for him to get anywhere above the third line. Like Jimmy Snuggerud is
Jimmy.
going to get first line minutes no matter what
Yep.
going into this season. Um, it's going to be really hard to take down Robert Thomas from that first line. And I guess you could say Bolduc, amidst all of the Montgomery line changes, uh, could have been a guy that would have gotten first line minutes. Okay. But coming into this season, there is no way of knowing that. And I don't think Zachary Bolduc is the real game changer as to how the Blues could have been a lot better than 5-8-3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it's too early still. I mean, Mayu had like no games played in the show, and
Not to mention,
I think
like,
he's a bit younger, or drafted same year. But
yeah, they were
um,
drafted same year.
I just feel like it's just like just give it a minute. Just give it. He's gonna play in the AHL. He's gonna ball. I think Hunter Skinner's gonna ball in the NHL. I just feel like he's a much more smooth skater, and he's just so sick. But like Mayu's gonna get his confidence up in the A, and then he's gonna come up. maybe some point this year or even next year and do much better. I mean, the Mayu story is not done until he's off the St. Louis Blues. We can't make judgment until he's gone, and that's all.
No,
That's all I'll say.
100%. And not to mention, who was helping him defensively, like as a D pair partner? Like nobody on this St. Louis Blues defense has been playing good, like up to par. And that goes for every single one. Matthew Kessel, although he's been pretty impressive in the games that he's played.
Wow,
Tyler Tucker,
wow, you're being
Cam
a hater.
Fowler.
Wow, hater.
I will say Broberg has been very impressive.
Okay, there
I've
we
been
go.
impressed with
Yep, yep, yep.
Philip Broberg. Um,
Perry,
Pareko
terrible.
hasn't been good, and
Justin
then
Falk, Allah
obviously
Akbar.
Justin Falk. Yeah, I was waiting for that one. Um, but truly, like you get my point. There is nobody that has really like helped him on the back end defensively. Like if you put him with some sort of stay at home defenseman so he can join up in on the rush, I think you totally see an improvement on his game. But he just, as you mentioned, also hasn't had enough time at the NHL level at a consistent basis to really kind of expect a near perfect style of hockey from him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it just everything takes time, and will take time. So we'll just wait.
Well, before we end things here, unless you have anything else, Nico,
No,
before we end things here, score predictions for tomorrow: Blues versus Flames in St. Louis.
Flames come into St. Louis and win 5-0, and the St. Louis Blues blow up.
Every player on the ice
I'll put
starts
$20 on it
crying.
right now.
You know what's crazy? And I was just in complete and utter shock that it was so close to happening. Prior to the Seattle Kraken and Blues game, Nico and I were texting back and forth, and I told him that the Blues were going to win 4-3 in overtime against Seattle.
You
Gosh, was
did.
I
You
so
did. You
close.
did, actually.
I was close.
You actually did.
Shout out to me
Yeah.
for doing that.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
actually true.
seriously
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
5-0? Are you joking?
Yeah, that's a yeah. 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 You're right. Yeah, I remember you. Because I was texting you and I was like, I'm gonna put money on the Blues. Was that when I put money on the
And
Blues?
I'm like, no, dude, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't
And
do
then
it.
I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I should have put money, and then yeah, they lost. But no,
Good
realistically,
thing you
I do
didn't.
think St. Louis is going to lose though. Yeah. I think this loss is gonna I don't know, man. I want to say they're gonna lose only because they're playing piss poor and they don't deserve the win. And I feel like against like Calgary, this is probably like if they lose against the worst team in the National Hockey League, I think we're gonna see moves sooner rather than later. Just because it's like, or yeah, just I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But Calgary
I
sucks, and
think
so
it's
the
a fair
Blues. So
assumption. And I can totally relate to you with the I don't know because this team has played so inconsistent. They have looked good and then they've looked bad. It's
Yar,
so hard to make that judgment call.
Yarsh, I agree. Are
Um,
speaking
personally,
Koshov.
personally, I have the Blues winning it 4-2. They marched into Calgary, won with Hofer. I also think it'd be interesting to see who gets the nod for the game tomorrow. Um, almost, I would be shocked if it wasn't Bennington, um, but we shall see. But yeah,
I would go. Yeah. It's gonna be better. We'll see. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm so tired of this team right now.
yeah. It's a little depressing to see, but really, when this team clicks, it clicks. And I don't think what we saw last year was any sort of fluke.
It was
It
not a
wasn't a
fluke.
fluke.
It wasn't a fluke.
Everything was just clicking together for the Blues, and that's where they really need to find that kind of gray area, even a little bit above a gray area between clicking and not clicking, if they can produce 75% of what they did after the Four Nations and, started to click after Jim Montgomery took over as head coach, this is a winning hockey team. This is a team that will be in the wild card discussion year on year in year out, as well as eventually top of the division when all of these prospects become developed.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we appreciate um, everyone listening. Don't forget, check out in the link in our bio, where you can find us on Spotify. You can now find us in Apple Music.
Shout out, Ben.
Apple Music, we now have it on there. Look out for weekly content when it comes to our podcast, as well as the daily content with daily, well, not daily posts, but more so game day posts. And we'll try and come up with some interesting posts. We're so close to 1K followers on Instagram.
Actually, we need to say something about that. Just we need to post and say, just get us there.
We are so close to 1K. Um, we'll try and think of something to do uh, for that. Um, But with that being said, Nico, any last words?
Um, you know, no, no. I think we've said, and I think the overall message is this team on paper and they're good, and they actually suck, and they figure out like what you're saying with clicking needs to happen. But yeah, people get us to 1,000 followers. Like, what are you doing? Like Ben made a banger post today that a bunch of people saw. Like it was like 1,000 something. We don't have 1,000 some followers, but there was 1,000 some people looked at it. They didn't want to click on
Yeah.
follow. Are you guys stupid? Are you dumb? Are you Justin Falk?
Are you a terrorist?
Yeah, I mean that's it for me, man. I don't got much to say just because I'm currently I'll still pay attention, but I'm checked out with this team right now. They're
I
pissing me off.
can't agree more. Can't agree more. But with that being said, thanks for listening, everyone. This has been Nico and Ben at the Blue Line Banter, and we will see you guys next week.
Outro music. Come along.